it's Ann from Annalise's Creates, Annalise's Creations. I'm here to do My Giant Life 2017 for the month of November. We're already into November, oh my gosh. So I am, how do you say it, filming early. So I'm still in my temporary home, and by the time you probably see this, I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that the sale of my house here is sold and that we are closing and that we will be on to waiting for our house to close in Reno and get that all set up. So yeah, so it's been an adventure, to say the least, and keep your eyes open for the new year. You will see some video of my new house, of my adventures of moving and getting into my new house. So keep your eyes open for that, because it is going to be kind of a creative thing. So just keep your eyes open for that, all right? So without further ado, I'm going to get started, and this month's theme is My Giant Feather. So if you have a nice giant real feather, I did have one, and then I packed it. And I was unable to locate the boxes here. I have some boxes in storage here at my temporary home. The home that I keep calling my temporary home is actually what is my mother-in-law's place. She lived in a modular home. This is a modular home, kind of like a mobile home, but a little nicer than a mobile home. And it's much smaller than the house I was in, so it's kind of an adjustment. And I tried to locate the box that I had a big feather in, and I couldn't locate it. I think I took that box to storage in Reno. So what I did was, I have a graphic stock account where I get all my graphics from. A lot of my graphics that I use for like collage work and stuff like that, not just for magazines, but for other things. And so I found this feather shape. And so what I'm going to do is, since I couldn't find my giant feathers, and I went on a walk hoping that I'd find some giant feathers around here and didn't find any, so no luck on that. So what I'm going to do is, I've got some watercolor paper, and I'm going to tape this feather that I printed out, or feather shape I should say, that I printed out. And sorry about the shadow. I'm trying to get rid of the shadow here, but it's not going to happen. Yes. So I'm using painter's tape to just kind of adhere this down, because I'm going to use this as my pattern for my feather. So I'm going to quickly speed through this while I'm cutting this out. So there's my feather shape, okay? Excuse my clearing of my throat, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add some background colors to this feather, and then I'll show you my next step. I kind of want sort of a November light colors, you know, autumn light colors for my feathers. So I'm not too worried about the colors I've chosen, I've picked out. but I kind of was thinking leaf and not feather. So that wasn't very smart on my part, but that's okay. It'll work. Some feathers have a bit of green, like the peacock feathers have some green in them and purples. But peacock feathers look much different than this feather, so. And this is a imaginary feather, so it doesn't have to be realistic looking, because I want to make it look fun too, so. So the idea of this feather is my giant feather. So you're going to draw a feather, or you can, you know, find a real feather and paint it. And then when you're done, you're going to paint it. You're going to decorate it using glitter, sequins, bling. You could use stickers, buttons, whatever makes you feel that to make this feather beautiful. Okay. And then on your giant playing card or your art journal page, depending on what you have, you're going to go ahead and make a background for your feather. And when your feather's all decorated and done, you're going to go ahead and glue your feather down onto your card. All right? So that's the idea of this whole thing this month. All right? So enjoy the rest of my process as I put this together, and I may be back to talk a little more. Okay, so you see that? All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start decorating it and adding my bling and everything else I want to add to this, and then I'll do my background. Okay, so I'm gonna use some stickles for some of the areas here, but hang on, it's still a little wet, so I'm gonna speed up the process of drawing with using my heat gun. And I have these really little sequins, so I'm going to add some of those on, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to add some tacky glue. I'm going to spread the tacky glue out a little. Sew on the sequins if you want to, but you know I don't sew. So this is the closest way I'm going to get these on here is by gluing them on. Okay, and then whatever doesn't stick will come off like that, and then I'll just put them back in the container. These are some vintage beads that were already strung that I got at I think at a estate sale or antique shop, and they came in this little baby food jar, and I haven't used all of them up yet, so they're going in here, back in here, whatever ones I haven't used, And sorry, I'm not in frame. There's this one. So I'm going to put that on right about here, but I'm going to first figure something out for the base of the feather. I like this color green too. Whoops. It's a darker green stickle, which I kind of like, so I'm going to mix it with the other ones. Other green. And this is going to take a while to dry. So, you know, set it aside while you're creating your background once, you know, and then wait for it to dry before you glue it onto your background. But give me 1 second. I'll be right back to get some. So for the base of the feather, I'm going to use some washi tape. And I'm just going to kind of adhere it, and then I'll cut off the excess in a minute. And I'm going to kind of tear this end off a little bit, like that. I got my finger in the stickles again. Alright, so I'm going to let that stay like that until it dries. See that? And then I'm going to take some glue and glue down this base. And I'm going to make sure there's plenty of glue on this so that it sticks. And let's see what else I can decorate this with. Okay, so I have green flower here. I think I'm going to put more at the base of this. But I'm going to have to wait till this dries first before I cut the edge of the stem and stuff. So I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. And then in the meantime, I'm going to come in and do my background. All right. And it's already gessoed. I put clear gesso over this card, so yeah. I'm going to use a brayer to spread out the paint. Now I'm going to use a little bit of light violet. Some of the card kind of showing through so that you know it is a playing card that I'm using. And then I'm going to take some gesso, if I can find my gesso. I hope I didn't pack that too. Oh, here it is. Nope, found it. Okay, so I'm going to first dry this quickly. Alright, so I'm going to let all of this dry, and with the magic of the camera, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and make some marks on my card as well while I'm still waiting for the feather to dry, because some of the stickle glue is still drying. which was dumb. I did do the background with stencils, and then I glued on the painted flower on the bottom of the feather here. See that? And so now I'm going to let this finish drying because the stickles aren't quite dry yet. So I'm going to let them dry, and then I will be back to glue this on and add some more things to the background. And then I think that'll be it for the month of November. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to go out and check out all the lovely artists that are involved in My Giant Life. I'll post links down to at the bottom to their videos for this month's take, their take on this month's prompt, I should say. And thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and stay tuned in a few seconds for this part. Alright, so the glitter is dry, and so now I'm going to glue it on, and I'm going to use some Aleene's Tacky Glue to do this with. I'm going to put enough on that it adheres good. And I'm putting it at an angle, kind of. Alright, and making sure that it kind of goes down really well. And probably we'll have to add a little more glue. Alright, so that it weighs down, stays down while it's drying, I have these weights that I found at Daiso Japan. They're to weight down like very light rice paper. They have this rice paper for the Japanese calligraphy. I forgot the name of it in Japanese, but it's Japanese calligraphy rice paper, and it's very thin. So when someone's doing that, they use weights to keep the paper down, and this is what they use. And I thought, well, that's perfect for art as well, because when you're gluing down papers, sometimes you need to weigh them down a little to keep them so that they glue down flat, and so that's what I'm using. So next, I've got some leftover pretty lace, and I'm going to glue some down here. I'm going to cut it first a little bit, and then I'm going to glue it down. Two of my favorite things are bling, gems, and lace. I love lace. Alright, so I've got this bottle cap. It's just a plain black bottle cap. And I'm going to put lots of glue in it because I'm going to glue this pretty flower in the inside of it. Create a kind of a cool embellishment. And then I'm going to add glue to the back. And I'm going to add it right about here. Right. Now I'm going to get some bling out, and I'm going to bling up a little bit more. And then I think that'll be it for this. Got these cool strips of gems, but they're like, they don't have any adhesive on the back. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off. I think I'm going to add them right about here. So I'm going to add some glue to the back of these. And then I'm going to grab one more thing. I'm going to be right back. Alright, so off camera I went ahead and printed out on my computer my Giant Feather November 2017. And now I'm going to take one of my Stabilo All pencils, if I can find it. I thought I had it here. Yep, I do. And I'm just going to outline. And I don't need to wet it. This is water soluble. And I'm just going to use it as a pencil. I'm going to have to re-glue this down too. It's not gluing down right. I'm going to have to use something else to glue this down. I used a cheapy glue stick and it's not gluing down properly, so I'll have to do that. That one's didn't glue down right. This one glued down better, so it's okay. And I did take my border scissors and cut the one out like this. Sorry, my alarm on my Fitbit's going off. It's reminding me to take some medicine. There it goes. Got it to go off. Sometimes I have to tap it really hard to turn off the alarm on my Fitbit. Alright, so I'm just outlining this, and then there's one more thing I wanted to add to this, and then I think we will be done. And like I said, don't forget to check out all the wonderful artists that are involved in My Giant Life. Okay, so there's that. And then I got these really pretty butterfly stickers. I think it was Lisa Swank who sent me these a while ago in some Happy Mail. And I'm going to go ahead and just stick one of them down, I think. See if I can. It's not wanting to come undone. Come on, work for me. There we go. Now it worked. There we go. I'm going to put one right about, maybe I'll do it the opposite direction. No, I like it like that. Here we go. So there you have it. So thanks for watching, and toodles, have a wonderful day. Bye.